Good afternoon. We're here at Eastland County today live, and we're glad to have Katherine Gordon Ross visiting with us today and publisher H.V. O'Brien, who we were going to just talk a little bit today about what's going on in Eastland County with the arts programs that you're involved with and anything else you want to let us know that you're involved in that's happening in Eastland County.
Thank you, Amy. One of the things that we're very excited about, as you know, is the Our Lives, Our Stories exhibit that's at the museum currently. And the history behind that, not the war, of course, I think others know far more than I do about that. The history of getting that show to Eastland is kind of interesting in and of itself. Our friend Julie Crouch, who is the executive director of the Cross Timbers Fine Arts Council in Stephenville, which of course is an organization that was founded by Carolyn Birdsong. Carolyn was Julie's mentor back in the day. Carolyn has moved on to her reward several years ago. And Julie moved back to Stephenville to take on the Cross Timbers Fine Arts Council because they needed a good director at the time. And Julie's a very qualified person, and we're very fortunate to have her. And Julie was at a convention in Austin. I'm told it was 5 years ago. I had thought it was 3, but evidently I've slept since then. Anyway, it's been several years ago, and the National Endowment for the Humanities had a speaker at a breakout at this convention that was telling about this fabulous show based on Tom Brokaw's book about the Greatest Generation. And Julie came back very excited about, oh, it's great. It's going to be on the road. We could get that for Eastland. We could get that for. She's very excited about Eastland and has been for a long time because she knows that the charter for the Cross Timbers Fine Arts Council includes 9 counties, one of which is Eastland County. And unfortunately, over the years, they just haven't done anything until now, other than just a few little efforts here and there in Eastland County. There wasn't access, there wasn't resources, something always came up. So Julie really wanted to do this show. And at the time we were hoping we'd have the Lyric open and that it would be the first thing to do at the Lyric. So Julie came and was sitting in my living room and telling me about this. And we're both a little shell-shocked at the time, just because both of us can't seem to stop working. I'm not sure. A good psychologist could probably explain why. But anyway, so Julie looks at me and says, but it's going to be $1,500 because we have to pay for the shipping to the next venue. How are we going to raise $1,500? We're strapped now. And I said, okay, big words, right? I said, Julie, if we can't raise $1,500 in that amount of time, I'll just take it out of my grocery money. We should just be taken out and shot if we can't raise that amount of money in that amount of time. Yeah. So, yeah, shut up, Katherine. Anyway, Julie believed me, and to her chagrin, perhaps. Anyway, we're still friends. Anyway, we signed up for it, and that's how we got the jump. And that's how we got it in Eastland. It took several years.
And the crowds have been just unbelievable.
Yes. It has been fabulous. So many, and not in no small measure because of your support, and we appreciate that so much. But a lot of the civic groups have met there. I just walked over from Civic League meeting there. I know a lot of the veterans have really found a voice and feel appreciated. And I know a lot of young people. I was over there Friday, and we had busloads of kids from our own schools here in Eastland.
That's great.
There. And it's very heartening.
Is it your understanding that there will be other schools from other communities in the county coming through? So.
The National Endowment for the Humanities actually provided us with curriculum, and there will be schools from, we sent the information to schools for 100 miles around, and there's curriculum available. The schools here had just taught on the Second
World War II.
Yeah, so the kids were very excited to have the hands-on. It's such a cool exhibit. If you sit down at the soda fountain, the radio comes on and it talks to you. It's very hands-on and very exciting. So we're hopeful that, as you said, HB, that as great as the World War II generation is, that the current generation will rise up and become even greater through the inspiration of what our immediate
That's a
forebears
noble
did.
goal. Noble goal.
Somebody's got to do it.
Yes.
That's right. So that
But
was
you
one
need
of
to
the things we thought.
emphasize now that the exhibit will be there through March.
We said the 16th, but technically it's really the 14th. It's the last day the exhibit will be open.
Okay.
Yes, but it's open to the public. It's free. We raised, thank God. I'm not sure what the final total was, but far more than we originally anticipated.
Right.
There's been advertising in magazines and all media.
I saw it in Texas Monthly the last time.
God bless them. Yes, Texas Monthly has been a very good friend
Yeah.
to Eastland. And the new editor, Jill Lawless, very fabulous, as Charles Lorman was before her in supporting Eastland. As you know, we made the front cover of Texas Highways.
Yes,
years
I
ago.
know.
Yes. So
So,
anyway,
that's
great.
an image everyone has. I mean, the fact that this came, and then the fact that Saturday they actually used the historic Majestic Theater
Yes.
to premiere it for the veterans, that kind of even made it more special.
Very
Our
appropriate.
cameraman now covered the Saturday event, and I know he told me that it was just unbelievable, the whole thing.
There was not a dry eye in the place, safe to say. Yeah,
It's beautiful.
it was beautiful.
So this is going to go on to the next month and the end of March, and then
Yes.
what else is on the horizon? Is there any other initiatives in the work or things that you'd like to talk about, maybe beyond this exhibit, or things happening with the arts or groups related to that in the county?
Well, many things. Anytime you put a microphone in my face, it's difficult to get me not to talk about it. But one of the things that I'm very excited that happened Saturday was that most or all of the board for the Cross Timbers Fine Arts Council was here for the event Saturday. And the Stephenville mayor, Kenny Weldon, is a retired Air Force colonel, knocked it out of the ballpark, as did everyone who spoke, I thought. Anyway, the board for the Cross Timbers Fine Arts Council raved on and on about how much Eastland has going on. And I think there will be more support going forward for things that happen here. I know Julie's thrilled because she's just been a big fan of Eastland ever since ever. So we're very excited about that. We're excited about partnering with them. The Cross Timbers has done lots of other things. They sponsored the Clyde H. Wells Auditorium in Tarleton. They sponsored the amphitheater in Stephenville, was their initiative. They've done many things that people don't remember or know about. Some of them even in Stephenville don't remember any of that. But at any rate, Julie's been a fabulous contributor, and probably everybody's aware that when you work for a nonprofit, it's not a big gravy job, and then it's
a hard job.
She's a single woman who perseveres against great odds, and I can't say enough good things about supporting my dear friend. But there's a lot going on in Eastland too in the arts, and I would like to say more about our vision for the Eastland County Arts Incubator.
Okay.
And where we are with that is good question. Good question. We, as you know, we had planned to put the Arts Incubator on the 4th floor of the museum building.
Yes.
And we've been working on that. I've been working on that without some volunteer help for the last few years. And the museum has done what they needed to do, and God bless them, and leased those floors to a company that's going to put a business in there. So we're scrambling for plan B. And one of our interim plans was we were going to open, as you know, a coffee shop and gallery on the square to raise money for the Arts Incubator. And that was unsuccessful in the sense we couldn't get it waterproofed enough to get open. So right now, I'm praying for God to show me what our next step is. And I know He's faithful. I know He loves us. He's done so many miracles to get us here. It was a flat out miracle that we got a 501c3. If you watch the news, you know that during the time when our 501c3 was awarded, nobody got approved to be tax exempt.
Right. Yeah.
It was a miracle. And I can't say it's been easy, but it's been worthwhile. And something will be forthcoming in the meantime.
Well, now your art studio.
My personal art studio where I paint.
Yeah.
That's in my house. I paint in my
Well,
house
that I
upstairs.
know, but I mean around the corner here, the building you're
Yeah.
It's the I think she's saying
yeah.
you're saying that you've had some building issues that may be preventing
They're
that.
preventing at least us from going forward with it. And Ina has done her best, and I trust somebody else will come along and make a go of that, but it's not going to be able to be me.
Oh, I'm
So
sorry for that.
We're pretty disappointed. We've just had some other personal issues going on. My partner's father passed away, and
I remember
different
that.
things. Yeah,
Yes.
yeah.
I'm sorry.
So
those things,
one does what one can, but at some
day
point,
by day, you do what you can do.
as you know
Absolutely.
very well, and so we're just. And I have a fabulous board. I have lots of good friends and a lot of people who see that the arts are an integral part of our kids' future here, and an integral part of everybody's future here. If we want to have a place that's thriving for business, if we want to have whatever we want to do going forward, we're going to be whole people, and we're going to have a life worth living. It's going to include the arts.
Absolutely.
And so that's where I am. I myself don't have a very clear vision of what next week's going to look like.
I'm seeing things in my rearview mirror, but we are considering the possibility of a printing museum
Cool.
over in our north building, which is available now. And I don't know what we will be led to do, but we're thinking,
We'll keep praying until we know for sure. Yes.
So I don't
Yes.
know.
Well,
So
yeah.
I know that I know there's some projects I've heard of in the works between maybe yourself and the school art program projects they're working on. Maybe a map, or did I hear a map or something like that?
Stephanie Cox, who is a godsend at the high school and who's also on the board of the Arts Incubator, is reproducing in new form the map that Kathy Ball and the art students did back, I think it was 15 or 16 years ago. I'm not sure.
Yeah.
Yeah. And Kathy, of course, was Stephanie's professor and mentor.
Mm-hmm.
And Kathy's also on the board of the Arts Incubator, God bless her. And Stephanie and the art students are taking now, I guess you'd call them ads. If you want your business or your home or whatever else to be located on the map that will be publicly distributed, you can, for a very reasonable fee, isn't it $20?
I think so, yeah.
You can have mark your spot, and Stephanie and the Arts High School are going to reproduce the map of Eastland. I did a different map, which is a map that will be, I trust, at some point distributed to visitors. That's more of a walking map of downtown.
Mm-hmm.
And it's less picturesque, but more, this is where the buildings are that you'd want to see if you were a tourist in Eastland and you need to find the facilities or what have you.
Let me suggest that I have in my vast file for what we call the Old Rip Trail, which was and is a diagram of all the historically marked facilities.
Oh, that's
the
fabulous.
Churches and so forth.
Is it county-wide?
No, just Eastland.
Mm-hmm.
Mine was
so we'd have to extend
this started back with the Chamber of Commerce project. It dropped there, so I got dumped with it, and it's a grand idea, but I just, in my whole spare time, I haven't had time to finish it. But it's the kind of thing you're talking about. It's something that we could pass out to visitors, and they would know where to go to the post office to see the stamp mural and various things. So I'd be glad to partner with you on that to put this to perfection. You're the artist, and I have the file, so we'll work together.
I'm really planning on handing off all the maps and research I've done so far to Stephanie. She's young, and we're going to let her.
A good idea. Let me tell you about Stephanie and her art class. She called me yesterday to tell me that they're on the 4th panel, Amy, of our mural.
Cool.
The new mural that we're going to hang on the east side of the building.
I didn't even know about that.
They've been working on it, and she told me yesterday they're on the last panel. So it'll be coming soon. I don't know
That's
when.
thrilling.
I don't dare rush them because they're having so much fun. I did ask her if there was some way we could list all the kiddos who were painting on this, and she's going to make some arrangement for that.
They're enormously talented. I've been over to Kathy Ball and I went over and visited
Yeah.
the art class one day, and also we had an event at what was going to be the gallery one Saturday. We had an impressionism workshop, and we had Julia, who's living with the Brudnicks, who is an exchange student from Italy who's in school at Gorman. She's the one who headed up the project on the new library. They did a big mural in the new library at Gorman, and we sponsored that. And anyway, we had, I don't remember now how many people, but we had the art club from Eastland High School. Stephanie came, a lady came from as far away as Azel. We had this wonderful little Saturday event, 4 hours on a Saturday. And through some of those things, I've gotten to know those students a little bit, not as well as I'd like. And they're just dazzling. They're just dazzling. So we couldn't be more overflowing with talent.
They're learning life skills.
They are.
Absolutely, at her hands. That's so important.
She's just great. Yeah. She's just great.
Her husband's a pretty good band director too.
Don't make me cry. That man, those two, what a godsend.
I can't believe
they're
just
amazing.
Made for each other.
And the couple, and forgive me, I just haven't had enough sleep. His assistant band director,
Lawrence, right? Is his last name Lawrence?
I just know he's great, and his wife came to that event too, and she was great. Yes, forgive me for
I believe it's Lawrence. I don't know his first name,
but he's amazing too.
His assistant band director. They're both incredible.
Mm-hmm.
And so, the good thing is they have fun with the kids, and the kids enjoy it.
Kids
who
love
can blame them? Yeah.
I've been visiting with him one day. I asked him, several weeks ago, how the project was going, and he said, "Well, fine, but please don't bother her. It makes her nervous." So I wouldn't call her.
It is Lawrence that it's swimming back up in my cerebellum somewhere. But yes, you're right. So, yes, they're lovely and energetic and talented and have good taste.
Well, do you want to, while we've got you here, I know that it's not that time of the year yet, but I'm sure you're already making plans for your Pearl Academy for this year, or do you want to explain what that is? What else? A lot of people may know about it, but there's probably some that don't. And it's always, I know you're looking for young ladies who would be interested in that. So
always. And again, I have to say thanks for all of your support over the years for that. This will be our fourth. It's the 16th chapel. No, it'll be our fourth, year for Pearl Power Academy. And what Pearl Power Academy is a day camp for girls that we do every summer as a community. And the lady whose brainchild it was moved away and left me with it. So it's my
funny how those things happen.
It was a great idea, but anyway, somehow, like you say, I got left with it. But what we do is different volunteers from the community come together, men and women who are successful in their various endeavors, and all of them fabulous people, come together, and we provide for free a camp for girls from all walks of life between the ages. In past years, we've said 12 to 18. We start off with younger girls, then we moved it to 12 to 18. There's talk now we might just do junior high. And then the older girls can come back and help volunteer and still get the same benefit of the curriculum. And the girls also are invited to bring a mother, a grandmother, or a neighbor, or some other significant female other with them. And we provide them with a written curriculum in addition to what we teach them. But we teach them everything we could think of that is an important life skill. Amy was one of our speakers last year, as you know. We had Sarah Bailey, Sarah Adams,
assistant DA,
assistant director, assistant district attorney, and she not only explained to them what is and isn't a crime, and what they ought and ought not put up with. But she did it in cute red shoes too, which is so pearl power. Anyway, so yes, love it. We had Dr. Todrosky came and talked about nutrition. Kathy Ball comes and does nail care. She's done it every year, including one year where she had to fly back from Oklahoma just to teach our girls how to do their nails. We do makeovers. We give away. Last year it was something in the neighborhood of $5,000 or $6,000 worth of clothes, resume paper, practical stuff that girls need to make it in life. We teach them how to dress for interviews. Everything we can think of that a young girl needs to make it in life. And we've been steady on researching this and taking things. Last year, Rob King came and talked about taking care of your car, talking about how to move out on your own when the time comes, how to choose a college, why your education is important.
Choosing the right guy.
That is huge.
I can't remember.
That is huge.
I can't remember. Isn't it something about Prince or Toad?
Yes, I have
or
an
something
actual
like that?
slide.
Yeah.
I do PowerPoints, and then I actually have a slide that says Prince, Toad. And we say things like, don't marry somebody who has these disturbing behaviors. It's only going to get worse. So I'm very blunt, and I draw on anecdotal information from my friends and other people who will say things like, we don't bludgeon anybody, but we're very forthright. Because most of the women I know who've made shipwreck of their lives, it was over some guy that, and not to say the opposite doesn't happen as well, but a lot of times it's just poor judgment that is real curable. If somebody tells you, we've all heard, if you're going to marry a woman, look at her mama, she's going to be like her mama. We don't always hear that the converse is also true.
Yes.
He's going to be a lot like his dad too, and if his dad doesn't respect women, whether or not he's telling you he loves you, one day that's going to filter down. And so we just tell them the plain truth about waiting until marriage to be sexually active. I know this is not popular. I don't care.
I don't either.
I just flat don't care. We tell them the truth about everything, drug abuse. We tell them the truth about simplest stuff, from like why you need to balance your checkbook, onto we love babies. Babies are great, but they're also a black hole for time and attention. And if you think the baby's going to fill the void in your heart, you're in for some very brutal surprises. Mm-hmm. Babies are great. They're not. They're never going to replace.
They don't solve your problems.
Right. Yeah. They are never going to be your savior.
Ready. You
got to be ready.
Mm-hmm.
And all of us who've parented kids know, even with two parents, it's dadgum hard some days. And with one single mom, it's punishingly hard. And God bless everybody who does it. But if you don't have to sign on for that, don't. So that's our message: is be sensible, make some good decisions, and don't.
The one graduation I attended was first class. I mean, it was top of the door. You know.
Every girl is leaves there, I think, being empowered and feeling special about themselves, and seeing something inside of them that they might have not have seen before, which goes a long way in their everyday life. You know, so
that's our heart for it. I personally believe that none of us gets whole or feels valued or special till we see it in the eyes of God. That was my experience. And some other person can't come along and wave a wand and make you okay. Mm-hmm. It has to come out of here. Mm-hmm. And that is what we endeavor to teach the girls, is that you may not think you're special. You may look in the mirror and loathe what you see. And I think every woman goes through that at some point. You know, I modeled for 9 years, and I've worked with a lot of beautiful women, and I can tell you, they're no more secure or happy or valued than the next person unless they had a really extraordinary good dad. So,
do you paint every day?
No.
No.
It's fabulous advice. I don't do it. I would love to, but like all people, I let life crowd it out.
You have too many irons in the fire.
That is safe to say.
That's my goal. That's my problem.
Well, we really appreciate you coming today and visiting with us and
Thank
telling
you.
us a little bit about what's going on in your life and in the arts in Eastland County. And we will surely invite you again soon.
I love you guys, and thank you for all you do. And thank you for having me.
We appreciate you and all you do. So.
And please don't give up. Just
All
keep
right.
running.
No.
I just wanted, before we go off, I just want to give a thank you to one of our local friends and neighbors around the square, Radio Shack, who's hooked us up with some equipment and cords and things that we needed to get this going. And we just wanted to say thank you and thanks for being a friend. And we enjoyed doing business with Radio Shack, and they seem to have all the answers to all our questions.